What is up, YouTube? It is Onion Bomb here, and welcome back to another Honkaiimpact 3rd reaction video. Today, we're back with the lore playlist, picking up where we left off, and it looks like it is going to be some Elysian Realm stuff, which is very exciting. Love to learn more about that. First up, we have a Homu Labs video of 7 interesting facts about Elysia. Yeah, let's see what this one is.
Today.
Yeah, the last video I did take just a a break from this one, just this playlist, and I did the went back to the character trailer thing and got some more character trailers in. And like as I said, which I won't keep repeating myself. I just want to make sure everyone knows. And and sometimes streaming, it gets me in the habit of repeating myself, so apologies if I get annoyed. I'm just trying to reiterate, but I'm gonna be, from going on here on out, I'm gonna probably be switching between both playlists every so often. So yeah, let's get started with this one. We have 7 interesting facts.
Hello. Today
now
we're taking a look at the charming lady that stole the hearts and wallets of Elysia, also known as Miss Pink Elf. These are 7 things about Elysia you didn't know.
Oh, dang, quite the moves. Oh, dang, she can create a dome. The Elysia is believed to be dead. Oh, really?
As many of you know, the Elysian Realm is a virtual space created by Mobius and founded by Eden. That means that the people there are just simulations based on the minds of the original 13 Flame Chasers. That includes Elysia too. We know that some of them, like Sakura and Eden, died in the previous era, and that others managed to awaken in the new world, tasked with enforcing Dr. May projects like Project Amber and Project Valuka. But what happened to Elysia? Did she manage to come to the new era with Kevin, Sue and Hua? Unfortunately, if you pay close attention to the lore of the Elysian Realm, it is implied that Elysia died sometimes between the 12th Herrscher and the 14th. So yeah, it's highly unlikely to see Ellie outside the Elysian Realm unless Honkai plans to surprise us with some big revelations and turnarounds.
Okay. She is not an elf. Were we supposed to think she was an elf? I don't think I did. Or like,
this is a misconception I saw many people have, even though it is explained pretty early in the Elysian Realm. Her elf-like ears are a side effect of the fusion process.
Well, because I almost caught myself, because there was that, like, the Elf Academy thing, and that was an acronym, but it's actually meaning like elf here with the ears. Yeah, I didn't think she was. I'm not sure if I peeped the pointy ears though. I'm seeing it now. I'm covering it up right now, but there's some point to those
become
ears.
A mantis. It's the same as Kevin's low body temperature, Sakura's fox ears, and Mobius's snake-like features. Elysia was the second one to become a mantis after Kevin, and the early process of fusing with Honkai DNA had some pretty unusual side effects. Also, the Honkai beast Elysia fused with was a Vipralopa class Honkai beast called Mahesvara. The Vipralopa class is something we do not hear about in the current era. So we can assume that it's a class of Honkai beasts that existed only in the previous era. In terms of strength, it should be somewhere near an Emperor class, or maybe a little bit stronger, but weaker than a Judgment class beast. We know that because Judgment class Honkai beasts did not exist in the previous era, the first one being Chiyo, as a result of the Honkai adapting to Fuhua, Fushi and Nuwa enacting Project Amber and giving humanity knowledge they were not supposed to have at that time. Anyway, Mahesvara in Buddhism is referred to as the ruler of all 3 realms of samsara. which is the very concept of karmic debt, reincarnation, and cyclicity. Mahesvara is also tasked with the duty of giving spiritual knowledge, which is kinda in line with Elysia's attitude and view on things. In Hinduism, Mahesvara is another name for Shiva, which is one of the principal deities. So yeah, based on just the name of the Honkai beast, we can say that it was a pretty powerful one. If I were you,
Cool.
I would pull for that bow, only not to get on Elysia's bad side.
Elysia is one of the longest active fire
During some dialogue
members.
between
Okay.
Elysia and Mobius that happens right amid the previous era second eruption, we can see that Elysia and Mobius are two of the longest active members of Fire Moth. And that makes sense since we know that Mobius is the one responsible for recruiting Dr. May, and Elysia seems somehow involved in one way or another in the recruitment of the majority of the other members.
Is the one that is the one that is
After
Stabler. Okay.
the disaster that was the attack of the 11th Hersher, the 13 mantises that survived were all brought under a single group to have a better chance to fight against the Honkai and as a last line of defense for humanity. Even though each of the Flame Chasers had a very different personality, we learn from Fuhua that Elysia herself managed to bring all of them together. This only speaks volumes about her intelligence and the ability to understand how each person thinks and works. As we can see in her dialogues, when she recruited some of the members, Elysia knew exactly what to tell them in order to make them join. She's also the one that chose the rankings for the group. Apparently, the number each member was assigned seems to be based on Elysia's whim at that time. Fuhua was assigned number 12 because she was the youngest and Elysia didn't want her to be involved in politics. Mobius was 10 because Elysia wanted to limit her influence. And then we have cases like Sue, who was given number 7 just because it would fit him. Even if some of the rankings seemed to not make any sense, nobody opposed Elysia's choices and accepted their ranks. She even chose to put herself second to Kevin because she thought that the position of the second in command is much more fitting for her and didn't want to shoulder the responsibilities of a leader. In terms of strength, we know that she and Kevin were the only ones who were able to defeat Kalpas in battle, so it's safe to assume that they were the strongest flame chasers in terms of power. Elysia mentions multiple times that she is weaker than Kevin, but Mobius accuses her of holding back, a fact noticed also by May when she fought her in the Elysian realm. Elysia says that this is not true and that she is indeed weaker than Kevin, at least temporarily.
It could be from the lost continent of MU.
It is speculated that she is heavily tied with the lost continent of Mu. When introducing herself, she says that her name means paradise in Mu's language. She also seems very knowledgeable about the place, and she even harvests Senka tree fruits, which she says that were very popular back in Mu. The continent of Mu was threatened to be destroyed completely by the previous era, Hersher of Earth, which created a giant black hole to swallow it whole. But before that happened, a scientist named Einstein opened a portal to the Sea of Quanta, and Mu, along with its people, became one of the many bubble universes floating in the sea. The continent of Mu from the game is based on the lost continent of Mu, which is a mass of land that was supposedly located in the Pacific and was submerged underwater. You may also know it as Atlantis. For many years, the idea of a lost continent was theorized and polarized by many, but its existence was deemed impossible by many geologists. So Mu's existence in the real world has no factual basis. Unless, maybe Mihoyo knows something that we don't.
Says strange habits.
Mobius notes in one of her documents with data gathered while observing Elysia that the position of her leg ring is based on the days of the week and that she is constantly changing her hairstyle without a certain pattern. While reading this, Elysia is very happy that Mobius took such a big interest in her and noticed all these things and says that in actuality she changes her hairstyle based on the weather. Which makes sense.
Is At least he's a traitor.
Setting aside the mystery of Alicia's identity, the fact that nobody knows anything about her past and that she keeps many things hidden from the others, it is heavily implied that Alicia betrays humanity at some point after the incident with the 12th Herrscher. Mobius calls her a traitor. Later, Kevin confirms that indeed Alicia betrayed them, and Dr. May suspects that she's hiding something very important. During a meeting with the Flame Chasers, she asked them to remember how they first meet Alicia. This may sound very strange for many people, since she is always portrayed as this friendly and talkative girl that, quoting Eden, loves everyone.
Honestly.
Even in the description of her crystalline rose, it says the following. She loved humans deeply, but what she loved wasn't any individual, but humans as a species. Yes, the girl loved humans till the very end. No matter if they were beautiful or ugly, good or evil, or right or wrong, that love never changed and will never change. As beautiful as a rose and as eternal as a crystal. Then I ask you, why would she turn against humanity? And the answer is simple. Because of love. She betrayed humanity because she wanted to unite them, to give them a last glimpse of hope and a minuscule chance to win the war against the Honkai. After the 12th Herrscher was sealed, every human city was already destroyed and humanity was more divided than ever, already accepting the fact that they lost the war against the Honkai. In a dialogue with Prometheus, a super AI created by Dr. May in order to predict the war against the Honkai, Alicia asks what would take for humanity to unite again, since they stand no chance of survival against the Honkai right now. The answer that the AI gave was that in order for humanity to unite again and have a chance at victory, they need a threat more dangerous and more destructive than a Herrscher. To which Alicia responds, it's pretty cool for the main character of a story to become an absolutely charming villain, right? What this dialogue implies is that in order for humanity to be united again, they need to face a new threat, one more dangerous than the Honkai, one that will force them to act together again. And that threat, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than Alicia herself. Throughout the Elysian Realm story, we see Alicia always concerned with the unity of the group and the humanity in general. She is someone who loves humans deeply and wants the best for everyone. She is the one that cares the most, and if the only way to save everyone is for her to become the villain, she will gladly do it, because this is a form of love that only she could offer. Elysian Realm is still an ongoing story and we have to wait to know more about what really happened. But regardless, Alicia's story shapes up to be a really tragic one. A beautiful one, but tragic nonetheless. We don't know yet how she will become the villain. Is she the 13th Herrscher? I mean, she could be. All we can do now is wait and hope that MiHoYo will give us more answers. I'm very hyped to know more about Alicia and I hope this video helped you learn a thing or two about her that you didn't know. Thank you very much for watching and I wish you all a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and see you next time.
Thank you, Hamu Labs. That was a good video. Yeah, I didn't know about those stuff for with Alicia, her being a traitor and oh yeah, and I didn't know the elf stuff either. There's something that kind of surprised me. But yeah, yeah. Cool. Alright, next we have an animated skit. Mobius' Lab. This is an official Honkai release upload. So yeah, a little excited for this one because they usually have some pretty cool animated skits. Let's see. Mobius' Lab. Mobius' Lab, take me by the hand. We have captions on right here.
丹珠迟到了，今天要请所有人喝奶茶。怎么这样？
我
这可是梅比乌斯博士定的规矩，不守时的人就要受到惩罚。
punctual people will be
绝
punished.
对只是因为他爱喝奶茶而已吧？
如果你能早起10分钟，就不至于这么慌慌张张没吃早饭，连头发都没梳，最后还是迟到了。
那你倒是叫我起床啊！等等，克莱因师姐是不是还没来？耶！我不是最后一个。
这不可能，克莱因师姐一向都是来的最早的那个才对啊！
你是杀人？
呸，乌鸦嘴！师姐这不是还在说梦话吗？
好，今天下班前给你。萨克，我睡着了。
诈尸了！
现在几点？什么？已经8点了。
哎呀！
给博士的论文参考文献目录还没整理完，上次的实验数据统计分析也才做到一半，还有下午的会议资料要准备。
不是我说啊，克莱因师姐每天的工作是不是太多了点？
还要再加上丹珠搞砸了交给克莱因师姐返工的部分。
背景音好吵，我听不到。
The background music.
喂，师姐，
我没事，我还能做。
克莱因，你在吗？
不是，
Klein a
抱歉，
full body
会议资料
cast?
还
Or is
需要
that just his like
那种会议无所谓了。
jacket?
克莱因
I guess，
我的
that's
衣服
Lady's
被酒精灯烧了一个洞，你来给我补补嘛。
这应该不是实验室助手的工作范畴，而且换件新的不就好了吗？
倒是也可以啦。不过我喜欢这件，
烧这么大洞，补起来很麻烦的。
可是我喜欢这件。
好了好了，我知道了。
好耶！我要蛇蛇图案的。
哦，
梅比乌斯博士太过分了，怎么能因为师姐人好就这么欺负师姐呢？
轮不到你来说吧，我听师姐说过，这些工作不是博士硬塞给她，都是她自愿接下来的。
不会吧？正经人谁加班啊？你加班吗？
我不假，
师姐是不是被博士抓住了什么把柄？比如上学时候的中二发言啊，
Such an
团建上的羞耻照片啊之类的。
那是你吧？
看来接下来得好好观察一下。
Those Honkai beasts like small in the
博士，
tank.
这是今天下午
And
的
they'll
会
put
议
a
资料。
crab.
博士，跟你说过多少次了，不要吃这种没有营养的垃圾食品。食堂里有营养餐，只要加热一下就好，很方便的。
克莱因，
哦，不是，下午的会议马上就要开始了。
啊，我才不要去。
博士，这是梅博士主持的烛火之季度科研成果汇报会，缺席的实验室可是会被削减下季度预算的。
啊，不去的话好像确实会有点麻烦。
你能理解比什么都好，我会把这些东西替你整理好。
克莱因，搞定。
啊，
好了，去开会吧，梅比乌斯。
恕我直言，这个玩笑一点都不好笑。
因为是梅比乌斯，所以他们会理解的。快去吧，别让梅博士等久了。
梅比乌斯博士，希望您尊重一下大家的视力和智商。
不要叫我梅比乌斯，现在要叫我克莱因，显得真实一些。
博士，再怎么说这也太……
我说啊，
Oh,
克莱因，
bruh.
什么？
那种会一点儿也不好玩。大家都用看怪物的眼神看着我，在背地里说我是恶魔。
这不是你自己种下的恶果吗？
话是这么说啦，但坐在那群人中间，就让我浑身不适，更别提 每次都要因为我们实验室的成果太过优秀，被他们用嫉妒的眼神盯到几乎要刺穿。人类这种存在形式真是弱小又不稳定，总是被情绪左右，至死都无法触及真理。那种会意根本没有任何价值。克莱因的话一定能明白我的难处的，对吧，克莱因？
只不过是不想去开会而已，不必上升到哲学高度吧。我知道了，我替你去就是了。
Oh yeah, he folded.
他们在干什么？我们是不是应该出去阻止他们？在干什么我不知道，但可以肯定，我们现在出去100%会被灭口。还是趁被发现前悄悄溜走吧。
博士，刚才的会议上，怎么又在这种地方睡着了？
师姐，
这是给你的慰问品。
是奶茶。太好了，有了这个，还能再努力工作一会儿。
师姐还要继续工作吗？稍微偷懒，我是说休息一下也可以的。
要做的事还有很多，我还不能休息。
克莱因师姐为什么要留在梅比乌斯实验室呢？永远做不完的工作，看不懂意义何在的研究，还要随时面对梅比乌斯博士的各种突发奇想。师姐知道的吧？我们实验室被同事们称为恶魔之巢，梅比乌斯博士也被叫做恶魔、毒蛇之类的。而在外面，烛火之蛾更是被民众评价为万恶之源，丧尽天良，令人发指。我们真的在做正确的事吗？
他们说的没错，烛火之蛾正在进行的研究，的确有很多是不可原谅的吧。但在这样的末世中，还能有这么一群人抱有顽强的斗志，做着前进的努力，对我来说，这就足够给予我希望了。我只有不停工作，才能忘记对崩坏的恐惧，体会活着的实感。但梅比乌斯博士不一样，他从一开始就在看着更深远、更根本的东西。我想象不出博士眼中的世界是什么样的，他似乎也无意展现给别人。他只对认定的东西格外执着，对自己的目标没有丝毫踌躇，为了更进一步，连自身都可以舍弃。他是纯粹的存在，纯粹的探求者，纯粹的恶。但也许正因为是在末世之中，这样的恶才是可以存在的吧。
就算你这么说，我们还是没办法理解呀。
博士并不想要理解者，他想要的只有答案。不过博士有时候确实会给人一些奇奇怪怪的工作，真是令人头疼。博士喜欢小动物，但所有动物见了他都会逃跑，他就让我去喂猫、喂狗、喂兔子，直播给他看。
喜欢小动物？你说的这是博士？
博士酒量很差，但又拒绝不了投资方的酒会，每次喝得醉醺醺的，都要我把他背回来。他总是又唱又跳，还要跟我划拳。
又唱又跳，梅比乌斯博士。
他还总喜欢在我最忙的时候出现，缠着我，让我陪他用函数在坐标系上画小动物。
他只是单纯的喜欢看你对他无可奈何的样子吧？
能明白，能明白。
研究进展不顺的时候，他就让我去给他买泡泡纸，然后一个人坐在沙发上捏一天。
我总觉得再这么听下去，我们就很难活得过明天了。
是吗？我还想再多听听呢。
听什么听啊？知道的越多越危险啊！
是梦啊？还发生过这样的事啊？我都不记得了。不但身体退化了，记忆也会变得暧昧吗？我还剩下几次机会呢
？Yeah, this is squid inside Honkai beast-like aquarium.
梅比乌斯博士，这是上周的实验数据统计分析。
知道了，做完图表给我吧。克莱，放在那边就行。
博士，
怎么了？
打起精神来嘛！啊，对了，我买奶茶给你喝。
我不喜欢那种东西。
哎，可是以前都……弹珠，笨蛋，你怎么还不明白？
还有别的事吗？
那个，梅博士说，要对千人律者的名单和遗体进行对照复核。他让我们实验室也去一下，毕竟克莱因师姐也……
你们2个去就好了。
可是博士，这是师姐的最后一面了，至少
人死了之后，就什么都没了呀。
So did Klein die?
这里不对，这样也不对。
烦死了！喂，泡泡纸还有剩吗？
Oh. I'm assuming so. Dang.
算了，这个时间食堂应该还开着的吧？虽然那里没有人想看到我就是了。
No.
博士，这是苏医生送来的资料。
知道了，我之后会看的。
博士，梅博士说明天早上9点要开个简会，讨论下一位律者的应对方向。
告诉他我会准时参加。
博士，艾莉西亚邀请你去参加一个舞会。
直接去了。
博士，
这次又是什么事？
我在克莱因师姐的遗物里发现了这个，是师姐亲手缝的蛇布偶，上面还有生日贺卡，应该是给博士准备的生日礼物。
净做些多余的事。
情绪、性格、思想、意志，新的生命形式，不灭的永恒，亘古的无限。人类的未来应该有更广阔的方向。
欢迎来到这个世界，克莱因。
你是谁？
我是梅比乌斯，你可以叫我博士，也可以直接叫我梅比乌斯，挑你喜欢的就行。这个世界
Oh yeah, didn't she like made like
大概是快不行了，不过那种事无所谓了，你不需要在意。
Klein, maybe?
我希望你能自由地活着，
Has been a while.
遵照你自己的意志。
So
你是自由的生命，自由的思想，自由的克莱因。书写你自己的故事吧，这是我对你的祝福。
maybe I just even like didn't even see it yet.
哇，这是什么？该不会是……
新的人工生命体。
Oh yeah, yeah.
博士，制造这种东西，被发现的话，绝对会很不妙的吧？
管他呢。
小小只的好可爱，而且跟师姐长得一模一样。我也想要， 博士，给我做一个好不好？我要长得跟苍玄一样的。
想要的话自己去做。
博士，就算做这种事，世界也回不来了。
Oh.
我知道，克莱因并不是他，而是具备独立思考能力的新生个体，只不过借鉴了他的外表。已逝之人，就让他留在记忆中吧。
工作，有什么工作要交给我的吗？
啊！你说什么？博士，你刚刚说只借鉴了外表。
毕竟是以他为原型做的，所以姑且把加班狂的部分作为底层设定输入进去了。
博士，
工作？哪里有工作？
丹珠，不要在走廊上跑。
一份曾经的存在，催生出了新的生命，而他又将以这份存在为基石，在这个世界上继续前行。这或许就是人类称之为进化的旅途。这又未尝不是一种答案呢，克莱因。再见了，我的理解者。
Dang. So definitely a little bit of a, I guess, a sadder one when it comes to those animated skit kind of things, but yeah, a pretty good one definitely. Mobius and Klein, seeing them. I forgot Klein. Well, I guess I didn't forget. I don't know if I don't know if I really knew this part of it, but so Klein died, and she made like another one. I think I may have peeped that bit. I don't know, but yeah, I mean they look similar regardless. So I don't know if they're like related or whatever, but yeah, definitely rip. That was a good one now, but this one's Dr. Mobius' birthday message from Klein. So what was in the letter?
受取人1号。戸惑う必要はない。このメールは私、クラインの個人的なメールアドレスから送信されたものだ。だけど、誤解しないで。この招待状はメビウス博士に頼まれて送ったものじゃない。私の判断だよ。時間通りに博士の誕生日会に出席してほしい。もちろん博士本人の態度はいつもとあまり変わらない。でも直近14日間の観測記録によると明らかにおかしいんだ。統計によるとカレンダーを確認する回数は1日平均32回まで増加しているし、4と30の数字に対する関心度も去年の今頃より 62.3% も高くなってる。他のデータとともに分析し、総合的に判断した結果、博士が誕生日会を楽しみにしている確率は 94.7%。
Okay, so wait, I think this is something else. Never mind.
だから今夜の20時から始まるメビウス博士の誕生日会に出席してほしい。よかったら博士が好きそうなプレゼントを用意して、もしくは他の友人を誘っても構わない。博士はきっと喜ぶと思う。ではまた後で。追伸、上記の内容はメビウス博士にはどうか内密にお願い。私にとっては本当に重要なことだから。クライン。
Two reallys, really very important. Dang. So that was for Klein inviting others to Mobius's birthday. I thought that was like the letter, because they ended with they found a present from Klein to
今
Mobius.
日のことは今日中にやらないと明日になったら
This video contains spoilers. Mobius is a stubborn
Mobius' story is teasing something big.
person. If she decides on a goal, you sure bet she's gonna do whatever it takes to achieve it, at any cost. The stuff she comes up with are things like overdosing a patient with Honkai and seeing what happens, which is usually, or attempting to fuse with a Honkai feast, losing control in the process and nearly bringing down the entire place. It's safe to say that morality isn't a factor in whatever Mobius is doing in her pursuit of making humanity great again. She thought to herself, wouldn't it be cool if we turned the human race into a hive mind that doesn't need to exist in a physical form? Because doing so would mean saving humanity from the Honkai disaster. I'm telling you all this because this was her goal for the longest time, until it wasn't. Something big happened that changed her, and it's got to do with her rival, or rather frenemy, Alicia, and it could possibly be the setup for something much bigger that has yet to be revealed. You see, Mobius has something called ambition, heaps of it. She grew up with a single parent. Her mother died in childbirth, so she was taken care of by her father. She was apparently able to
dang.
speak the moment she came out, somehow.
What?
And throughout her childhood, she suffered through domestic abuse due to her father contracting a disease. This was when young Mobius started to think about the pitiful sight that is in front of her at this moment. She ran away from home after that to pursue her goal, which she is quite a genius at it. Thus bringing us to the Mobius we see in Elysian Realm. It's a story about an ambition, the unwavering determination to create something bigger than yourself, which is where Alicia comes in. From the first moments we start Elysian Realm, we saw May, after being sent here by Kevin, meeting Alicia, where she would explore this overly complicated World Serpent basement with Alicia's guidance. It's here we learn about the heroic tales of a previous civilization fighting for their survival. Just kidding, it's about the horrors and the ethically questionable things that happened back in the days. And throughout all of it, there are signs that made us grow progressively more suspicious of those in the realm, specifically Alicia. It starts with her being branded a traitor, sometimes dodging questions. She doesn't seem to be directly harming us, but it's also clear that she's withholding something behind her smile. And Mobius can clearly see this, so these two were always butting heads from the dawn of time.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Well, mostly for Mobius, because she's the one irritated by how she cannot tell what Alicia is thinking. But this all changed when Alicia presumably died. We don't know how or why it happened, but it somehow convinces the steadfast Mobius that whatever she's pursuing just isn't worth it anymore. Knowing how much Mobius is willing to go through for her goals, you can't just help but wonder what kind of thing Alicia did that's capable of making Mobius do a 180. The best clue we got on this is from Alicia talking to Prometheus, the artificial intelligence currently in the first Divine Key today. They were talking about how cracks are beginning to show in their efforts of fighting the Honkai, how disunited they were, and Alicia wanting to play a charming villain for a change, whatever that means. At this point, it seems very likely that whatever Alicia did could not be something short of a grand showdown or a super tragic event. Nothing like any we have known about so far. And to this, the community has come up with a pretty convincing speculation. I'm talking about the Alicia Herschel theory, which I made my own take a while back, which you could check out from the top right. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like so this video can reach more people. Thank you. Anyway, that's still the next content update, which could potentially give us more clues or debunk the whole thing, but that's just how it goes. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to it. That has been it for today, and thanks for watching.
So that was just a little bit about them teasing something big.
Hello.
Yeah. I mean, interesting. So, Mobius and Alicia, they a little bit of a rivalry there, because they could use the word frenemy. But I did thought I remember Mobius being kind of like there's a little bit of villainous to her a bit, but definitely some tragedy in her parents, and then if Klein dies, like Definitely some tragedy, and then Alicia. I didn't really know about the whole trader thing. That's new, and that's interesting. Because yeah, honestly, everything I've seen about her, she seems so nice. So it's kind of, but I explained that, like, she did it out of love. So I guess I could kind of see that, but yeah, now we have 7 interesting facts about Mobius by
Hello
Home
there,
Labs again. Let's
fellow
see it.
lab rats. Okay, let's do that again. Hello there, fellow Mobius
Hello.
enjoyers. Today we gathered to talk about one of the most interesting and deadly flame chasers. Mobius is a character that instantly stands out among the others due to her mysterious nature, personality, and most importantly, her view on immortality and the concept of humanity. She is presented as the main villain for the first 2 chapters of the Elysian realm, everybody painting her as someone that is best to be avoided.
Holy yondering, that was crazy.
And learn more about Mobius' past. Her story shapes up to be a very tragic one, driven by an obsession for evolution in a world doomed to be destroyed and surrounded by people who never truly understood her. These are 7 interesting facts about Mobius. Enjoy!
See her move. Wait, she got like the black, like green, like tar goo stuff. Dang.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Bro, what is this? 7 interesting facts about Mobius. She is named after the Mobius strip.
An interesting thing to note is the name that MiHoYo chose for her. She is named after the Mobius strip, which is a basic prototype for non-orientable surfaces proposed by the German mathematicians Johann Benedict Listing and August Ferdinand Mobius in 1885. The Mobius strip, also called a twisted cylinder, is a one-sided surface that looks like an infinite loop, a symbol often associated with Mobius that reflects her obsession with infinity. Even if the Mobius strip in itself is finite, what's interesting about it are the topological properties that it presents. Unlike any orientable surface, where if you walk a full circle, you will be back at the same point, if you do the same on a Mobius strip, you'll end up pointing in the opposite direction, even though you returned in the same point in the 3D space. It is used to illustrate the idea of how things in lower dimensions might exist in higher dimensions. Interestingly enough, Klein is named after the Klein bottle, which functions under a similar mechanic, but it can only exist in a 4-dimensional space.
Mobius pioneered many important technologies.
There is no secret in the fact that Mobius's obsession with evolution led her to perform many inhumane experiments that raised the opposition of a lot of people. But because she was so obsessed and hell-bent on transcending the limits of humanity, her genius gave birth to the very early prototypes of many of the current technologies and weapons used for fighting the Honkai. One example of such advancements made possible by her genius are the genetically modified codes known as stigmata. Yes, the main weapon used by the Valkyries today to fight the Honkai are a byproduct of the research carried by Mobius and Dr. May on the Herschers of the previous era. Later, when the
I forgot to say that. They were talking about Dr. May in the Mobius short. I guess so. Was Mobius from like the Dr. May era, and then choosing like the Kevin story? I mean, I know they were talking about it. Be like Kevin is a part of the world serpent thing, and he's also a flame chaser, and then part of they're part of the same group as Mobius is, but But yeah, that was just
Previous
interesting.
era was destroyed, Dr. May put the stigmata genes in every human embryo.
Does
that
May know that there was a Dr. May that looks exactly like her and isn't around anymore? Does May know about Dr. May,
used
like
to
normal
restore
May?
humanity, giving
Normal May is
every
crazy,
human in
May.
the current era the stigmata genes and making Project Stigma possible. Another important technology that she helped develop is the metamorph surgery, which gave birth to Mantis soldiers. This technology entails giving human strength through modified Honkai genes called metamorph ichors. Mobius helped develop the technology, which was later perfected by Dr. May and used for the first time on Kevin to transform him into a super soldier to fight the 7th Hersher.
Mobius is the third one to become a mantis.
Mobius' serial code is CM003. That means that she is the third one to become a mantis after Kevin and Elysia. The Honkai beast she fused with was called Sesha, and it was a serpent-like Judgment class Honkai beast that was born during the third Honkai eruption in the previous era and had lightning powers as well as the ability to revive itself after it dies. In my previous video about Elysia, I said that there were no Judgment class Honkai beasts in the previous era, but it turns out that I was wrong. Sesha is confirmed to be a Judgment class in one of Mobius's files, the only Judgment class in the previous era that we know about at this time. Unfortunately, while making the video for Elysia, I did not read the record files added in 5.1 for Mobius. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Her snake-like features...
Didn't read the files. Can't watch this video anymore. In fact, unsubscribing. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And her immortality are all a result of combining with the Honkai genes of this beast. Every time Mobius is killed, she will revive in a certain amount of time, but her body will regress, becoming younger every time she revives. This is why we see Mobius appearing before us in the body of a child, even if in some flashbacks and promotional materials, she appears to have the body of an adult.
You know, I'm glad he brought that up because I was
Flashbacks and promotional materials, she appears to have.
I saw this picture, and when I was like, I was like, oh, okay, I talk about when Klein folded, like makes sense, and then I started to see some other like Mobius is like, is she? Am I? Like, am I going to jail? Is it, you know, for like, you know, is that is she younger? Like, is that something I should not have said? But I get so that she does look like older in other places.
Have the body of an adult. Please know that there's a limit on how much she can revive. Her body will keep regressing until she will eventually enter an embryo state and eventually will cease to exist. Also, it was confirmed that she's still able to age, so if she doesn't die for a long period of time, Mobius will eventually grow back to have the body of an adult.
Mobius is the one that recruited Dr. May.
During an academic seminar that was held in Mu, Mobius approached Dr. May after a presentation because her ideas and methodology caught her attention. She saw in Dr. May the potential of a like-minded individual, someone that would go to any lengths necessary to realize their goals. Nonetheless, her interest and conversation with Dr. May that she had that day led to Dr. May being part of the Fire Moth in the future, changing the destiny of humanity forever. In the end, even if the two had many similarities in their resolve and length that they would go for realizing their ambitions, Dr. May states clearly that Mobius's ideology is far too extreme and that what she is trying to achieve cannot be called humanity anymore. The fun thing to note is that during chapter 17, when we had the flashback between Kevin and Dr. May, she talks about attending an academic seminar in Mu, which is most likely the place where she's approached by Mobius. I just wanted to point that out since it's very nice to see that all the things come together eventually.
She tries to imitate Alicia.
We later found out that her playful and seductive attitude towards May comes because she's trying to imitate Alicia's personality. Mobius noticed that kind of behavior to be more likely to get other people to comply with her wishes and get her what she wants. She says that even if she hates every moment of using that persona, she doesn't mind it as long as it helps her in her research. And because she tries so hard to be like Alicia, her attitude towards May has the opposite effect and makes her even more suspicious.
Mobius killed Klein? What?
During the Mobius' lab animated skit, we got to see a glimpse at the relationship between her and Klein. For Mobius, Klein was the only person that understood and accepted her, and that is why Klein's death affected her very much, maybe even more than she realized. But what if I told you that the actual truth behind Klein's death is much more darker and up than you would imagine? During the attack of the previous era, Pressure of Dominance, Klein was one of the many people that were possessed by it and ended up killing Mobius. When Sue came over, he found Mobius already dead and used his psychic abilities to restrain the possessed assistant. Meanwhile, Mobius started to revive, but to complete the process she needed a large amount of Honkai energy and instinctively attacked and killed Klein, who was near her at that time and could provide the amount of Honkai energy that she needed. Then, she underwent an active Honkai reaction, which is an ability that every mantis possesses that lets them transform into the Honkai beast they fuse with, but the price is that they will lose their humanity in the process. Eventually, she was stopped, but she did not remember anything about what really happened. She was told that Sue was the one who killed Klein, but she never believed that for a second and thought that everybody tried to hide the truth from her because that would make her lose control and enact revenge like Alpas did with the loss of Emil. So, to this day, Mobius lives in ignorance, not knowing that she was the one that killed the most important and most precious person in her life.
Wow.
Oh boy, talk about messed up.
Messed up. That's messed up. That's messed up.
Yeah, but that's me right now. Bruh, after all that, or after like the she seemed so upset in the short. It was her who, and it was the one who did. That's crazy. The tragic fate of the real Mobius.
Throughout playing the second chapter of the Elysian Realm and learn more about Mobius, several questions and pieces of information that don't quite add up appear in May's head. The Mobius sim keeps calling herself the real Mobius. This raises some suspicions because from what everybody in the Elysian Realm told her, the real Mobius should be alive in the current era, but nobody on the outside ever saw her or interacted with her. This leads May to believe that maybe the real Mobius transferred her consciousness in the sim from the Elysian Realm and that she's truly the real deal, but that we learn to be false as we progress. After May learns from Raven and the other flame chasers the truth behind the active Honkai reaction, she decides to confront Mobius without realizing that she has fallen right into her trap. Mobius' true intentions all this time were to transfer her consciousness into May's body and leave the Elysian Realm. The two of them fight, and after Mobius is defeated, we learn through a message that the real Mobius left with Klein that she killed herself right before entering the cryopods and coming into the new era. In this message, she states that Alicia's death had a very big impact on her and made her realize that the immortality she pursued had no real meaning, and all this time she was just running away because she was afraid to die. And that's when everything gets really crazy, because we learn that everything that just happened was planned by the sim Mobius. After Elysia died and the real Mobius came to sing with the Elysian realm for the last time, the sim Mobius planted a seed of doubt in her mind to break her. What this means is that basically the sim Mobius gave the real Mobius depression until she killed herself for good. Yeah, I know, it's f***ed up. She did this because, from her perspective, there was no need for two Mobiuses to exist. She was hoping for this result, so when Klein showed her the message from the real Mobius, she was happy because this basically confirmed that her plan succeeded and the real Mobius ended her life. But even with all of these events taking place, there are still many questions left unexplained.
Lore.
In her last file, we learned that after she recorded the message for the sim, the real Mobius went to meet with Prometheus, and it was never stated that she actually died. That made many people think that maybe the real Mobius had other plans. There are still many suspicious things left unexplained in the story of Mobius, but nonetheless, these are all speculations and theories that are yet to be confirmed. In the end, who is this mad scientist that is so obsessed with immortality in evolution? Is she just a crazy soul that let her obsessions take away her humanity and was hell-bent into going against any morals in order to satisfy her curiosity? Or was she just a misunderstood person that only wanted to help humanity achieve the victory against the Honkai, despite what everyone said and thought about her? Was she just a ruthless monster, or a human being that deep down only wanted to be understood and appreciated by others? Or maybe she was both. But this contradiction in itself is what makes Mobius one of the most tragic and interesting characters among the 13 Flame Chasers.
Yeah, very interesting.
一份曾经的存在，催生出了新的生命，而他又将以这份存在为基石，在这个世界上继续前行。这或许就是人类称之为进化的旅途。 这又未尝不是一种答案呢，克莱因。再见了，我的理解者。
Hey, I just want to take a quick moment to thank everyone that watched my videos and supported me in the last few weeks. This channel grew more than I could ever imagine, and I want to let you guys know that I am extremely grateful and will work hard to improve and bring you more quality content. Thank you very much, and see you all next time.
Yes, thank you very much, Homu Labs. I'm just assuming everyone out there watching my videos is also aware and has subscribed to Homu Labs. In case that's not the case, make sure you subscribe to him as well. But yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, I mean, Mobius is just another complex character, complex villain in a Honkai. I mean, there's a lot, I'd say maybe even a little more complex than Otto, because while, like, Otto, like, there is some complexity to him, I feel like he does lean a little bit more towards villainy than not. I think Mobius could, like, from stuff I've heard, like, there's a little more, some misunderstanding, maybe even a little bit less leaning towards, I don't know, but the fake the Mobius is like not the real Mobius, and I do remember some of this. I remember it's very, I remember her like spearing like the hologram thing of her old self, and it's like the real Mobius is dead, and then she ended up making so this isn't even like the real Mobius and Klein. Klein was she died, and she apparently died by Mobius, but they saw it was Sue, and it was her. But like now and then she made a new Klein. Dang, like there's a lot to Mobius. On top of that, her mom died in childbirth, and her dad they got disease. Like that is tough. That is tough. But yeah, Mobius very interesting though. Very crazy and wild lore too. Mobius drunk. Oh, is this the video? I'm sorry about this. Funny at the end there. She Klein's drinking the milk tea. Watch it. They're just like, oh. Who are the other two? Dating the clone. Like someone has like some red to them. That one has blue. Are they like twins or something? But on that note, on that glorious note, I think that is where I'm going to call it today. We're about at the recording time. Pretty good one, honestly. Pretty good one. We got a lot. Definitely a big Mobius video. I don't always know what I'm gonna title or put in the thumbnail of these videos because sometimes I watch a variety of things. But this one's definitely gonna go to Mobius, but big Mobius one. I know we started with Alicia facts, 7 Alicia, but we had the Mobius lab animated skit, the Dr. Mobius birthday message, the 7 interesting facts of Mobius, another Mobius video, and then of course the ending, the Mobius drunk. So this whole video pretty much was Mobius, and next time we're gonna be getting some more Elysian Realm stuff, which is looking pretty cool. One more Homu Labs, but then it looks like we're gonna get back into some Potato Almanac. So very, very nice, tangent there, duo there. Yeah, just a really interesting one today. I'm very excited to learn more about Elysian Realm and just more character stuff and just lore stuff because really deep diving has been really cool and interesting. And yeah, today Mobius had a lot of complexity, a lot of deep wildness to her as well. So yeah, very nice, very nice. I'm very, very excited for more stuff like that. For now, though, guys, that is going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like or dislike, subscribe or don't subscribe. It's always up to you. I'll see you guys in the next video you watch with me. Good boy.